Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is the second of two sessions of a very cool, powered by the Apocalypse RPG called Super Destiny High School Rumble. It is all anime squished into one. It's amazing. All the playbooks really cover the gamut of most of your action anime styles and ideas and tropes. It's really cool. We have three players returning to finish up our story. But before we do introductions or anything, let me remind everyone we have lines, our safety tools. We have lines, veils, and ask first, but we only have lines. Lines against pandemics, sexual assault, violence, or coercion, and sexual content. So lines straight against those. Consider this like a PG to PG-13 style game. And then on top of that, we also have the X card. So if there's anything that happens that you didn't put a line or veil in, which makes you feel uncomfortable in any way, just say so. Hey, I need to X card this, or hey, can we stop for a second? And you don't have to defend yourself. You don't need to justify. I may ask you, is it this thing that you're X carding? And if so, it's gone. We excise it. We move on with our play. No fuss, no muss. Do not hesitate. Don't worry about it. I've never been in a game where someone X carded that didn't make things better. And I trust that it will, because your safety is way more important than the made up silliness that we are enjoying here tonight. Or this morning in the case of Matthew. So I have to remember my time zone. It's like 8 in the morning for you, right, Matthew?
It's nine. It's nine.
9, 2 hours ahead. One of these days, I'll remember that. Okay. Well, Matthew, I've already called your name, so you've unmuted. Please, if you could remind us about your student, your PC.
My student is Emily Reinhardt. She uses I just said she uses she/her pronouns. She is the sort of like overachiever at this high school. On a field trip, she discovered an ancient rock that gave her the power to transform into a dark warrior charged with cleaving souls from good and evil. And now, troubled with this sort of very serious responsibility, she has growing to realize that she may have to give up any kind of a normal life if she is going to continue this duty. And basically, life gone.
Poor Emily and their
Yeah.
real life desires.
And
They
she goes
mean
by the
nothing.
name, sorry. And
So
she
go
goes by
ahead.
the name Valkyrie. I forgot about that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step over you
No,
there.
it's
I
fine.
apologize. Cool. Since I started on the right hand side of the character keeper, I will move towards the middle, which means Huffa, you're up. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your
Hi, my
character.
name is Huffa. I go by he, him pronouns, and my character is Abbott Motherwell, who also goes by he, him pronouns. He is a transfer student, kind of a little bit of an introvert and a bit of a loner. Hasn't yet kind of made a lot of connections in town. He, one day, while he was walking home alone from school, a rusty, kind of beat up old mech started following him home from school and became kind of his buddy. And they have a kind of connection via a life force. He actually powers the mech in part by his own kind of being. And he hasn't yet fully figured out what this thing can do. I think he's still in the process of being pretty blown away that a mech followed him home from school. But it is his closest friend in a way. Although I think he's also getting to know both Tima and Emily. So there you go.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Huffa, and last but not least, we have Serenity. If you could tell us about yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Serenity. I go by she, her pronouns, and the character I have is Tima Scotswell. They go by they, them. They. What did I just do? Whoops. Sorry. They are an idol. They've with the family of
Okay, Serenity, you cut out from me. I'm having trouble. You're kind of freezing.
celebrities. That's what they have the digital and
Hello, Serenity. You kind of cut in and out on us. Are you
yes, I
back?
am. I'm so sorry. My internet just went out.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You're back, and we could hear
Yes.
you just fine. I'm sorry. I couldn't. Well, I don't know if Alpha could, but I couldn't hear anything that you'd said after you said your character's name.
Okay. So, my character's name is Tima Scotswell. They them pronouns. They grown up with celebrity family. Everyone knows their family. It's pretty popular around town, and their digital destiny. Yeah, sorry. Their destiny type is digital. I'm sorry, digital
It's
champion.
okay.
And they basically found that out by gaming with friends and figuring out that they can hack into the system.
Nice. So in last session, we create our world. We have a Shadow Rock Glen is the name of the place where you guys are all living. It's Shadow Rock Glen is this Twin Peaksy type town, a rural town that actually has a large mine, a copper pit mine owned and operated by Baldur Mining Company, which is a division of Acer Core. We have some executive children who are in your classroom who are at least one of them is trouble, and we have Mrs. Watanabe, who is your teacher, who has been seen at the mine. You guys know that there's something spooky about what's going on at the mine. In our brief bit of play, after all the world building we did, it was basically field and track day. Emily was the pole vaulting champion for the group. Abbott was able to beat out Randall in a foot race, and Tima was the leader of a winning relay race team. And all of you, for your trouble, were delighted to find that you now are part of the track team, or at least for the upcoming competition. So I'd like to get in some group scenes too, but I have this like really compelling urge for an opening scene with Abbott walking home after the track meet. The sun is starting to set, so it's that like, orange and then several different shades as the sun is setting, and you're walking along the sidewalk towards your house. What's the kind of neighborhood that Abbott lives in?
I think it's a really his parents are engineers at the local mining company, and I think it's a very sort of middle class suburban neighborhood. I get that vibe of big open lawns. Like if it's the summer, there's like sprinklers going. Ranch style homes. Not too many cars. I think he lives on like a cul-de-sac. And yeah, but an older, the vibe of generally like it's not the newest kind of suburban subdivision. It's kind of like a Levittown era, like 50s era subdivision, yeah.
Cool. So we follow Abbott as maybe he cuts through a yard, and he's all by himself, and he's moving along, and then we hear the of the start of a series of sprinklers as he quickly moves across one of the yards without trying to get wet. Then he's walking underneath the street lights, and the street lights aren't on, but we hear that low hum. I'm totally stealing from Serial Experiments Lane. I'm just stealing it. I'm just literally stealing it. That low hum of all the power lines above you, the honk sound as you're walking along. But then we hear thum, 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 And Abbott, you know that Ike has decided to catch up to you and walk alongside you. And he does he have like a human head, or is it like a expressionless thing with eyes? What are you imagining?
I imagine that he's both. I kind of imagine him as like a Gundam era mech that's really beat up, like Gundam era in style. So it's like both. He's both old, like an old mech, and like an old style kind of culturally mech. So he's got a face, but there's no expression. You know, like it's just it's and yeah. So he's not like there's nothing like mobile on his face. Like
so he's got like that kind of slits for eyes thing, and then like some kind of weird face mask, but it lights up as he's talking type deal.
Yes, totally.
I love it. I love it. So
The Optimus Prime face mask.
totally Optimus Prime face. That's good.
Prime face mask. Exactly.
We strongly encourage mask use in the gauntlet. So there we go. And he looks down at you, and I'm totally like I'm imagining his like the kind of bunny wings, you know.
But I think one of them is broken.
Yeah, totally. Like one of the bunny wing ears is broken. He looks down at you and he says, "You were really fast today. Ran well. Good job."
I think so. As we recall from last week, Abbott was fast, but Abbott also tore his shorts off in the process of being
That's
fast.
right.
So Abbott is pretty. He's like, thanks, Ike. I wasn't. It's pretty embarrassing. I don't know. I guess I was fast. I was more
Embarrassing to win a race. Come on, buddy. And then he reaches down and with like a finger, he just kind of taps your shoulder like he's patting your back.
And like Abbott is like instantly charmed by him. It's like he smiles like, thanks, Ike. Yeah. I don't. But he's still like, you know, he's a teenager whose shorts got torn off in a race, so he's still like he's not over this. But he's like he's like thanks, Ike. Yeah, no, I guess I have something that I didn't realize in me. You know, I didn't know I could do that. That kid. That oh, and now I'm forgetting his name. That kid.
It was
Maybe
Randall. It was Randall.
Randall, he is such a jerk. It just makes me so angry. I had no idea, you know. I didn't want to be there, you know. I hate track, but I was just so angry at him. I had to win that race. I don't know if it was worth it, but I had to do it. Had to beat him.
Hey, I'm not a fan of the guy. But hey, now you're on the track team. That's cool. Chicks dig runners.
I guess so. Thanks, Ike. he's like, I don't know. Like, I didn't really ever want to be on the track team, but you make it sound really cool.
Oh no, Ike's one of those robots that's watched TV.
He's totally watched a lot of TV. He watched more TV, but he only has the one antenna, so it's always local, you know, major broadcast network stuff.
Honestly, he sounds like he watches Bill and Ted.
Maybe so. Cool. So eventually Ike realizes you're near home, and so he finger taps your shoulder again, and you head off to catch up to your mom who's calling for you. And we'll quickly cut to Tima. Now, Tima, if you remember, you promised Kimmy Sorensen, the computer nerdy girl, that she could be on your Twitch stream sometime soon. And I think that your agreement was vague, but we pick up with Tima at home and Kimmy knocking furiously at the door trying to get your attention. So what does Tima's room look like?
I would say it's like pretty nice and aesthetic. It obviously has like the TikTok fairy lights in my room. Probably one of these canopy beds where it drapes down from the ceiling. Probably like obviously a computer desk setup, and like everything's all nice and neat. So yeah.
Cool. So Kimmy maybe Tima's mom let Kimmy in. Maybe Kimmy broke in. You're not sure, but she's knocking at your bedroom door. Hey, I'm here. I'm here for the Twitch stream. Has it started yet?
I was like, you could have just joined remotely. You didn't have to come to my house.
And she holds up her Nintendo Switch, and it's got a Super Mario case that is in, and she goes, but no, this is way better because like we could be on the stream together. She comes in, she's got a backpack, and she starts opening up the backpack. She dumps out a bunch of Pro controllers, and I've got an HDMI cable, and don't worry, I can do all the hookups myself. So what do you like to play? And she throws open, there's a bunch of like little SD cards that scatter out with a bunch of games on it.
I like playing popular games.
Ooh. Okay. What's a popular game? I'm mostly into classics.
Oh. Well, I don't know, I guess the Switch would be, guessing Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, Animal Crossing's really fun, but super slow and no combat whatsoever. Are you sure?
Yes, like, don't you love playing around with like cute little animal villagers?
Yeah. So she grabs the SD card, sits down, and like pops off the little controllers and hands one over to you. And she goes, "So do you have an island?"
Yes, I do. I have a 5-star island with Raymond and Marshall.
Oh wow. I don't even that's great. I don't have that. That's cool. And so she's logging into the Switch, but then she looks around. Do you have a bigger screen, or do you just want to like hunker down over this? Is that cool?
I guess we can hook it up to my computer so we can watch on there.
What was that? The dog attacks? It's funny. So as you are trying to hook up the TV, you see the TV powers on, that there are a number of little sprites that start to jump onto the screen, and you realize that someone is trying to hack your system. Maybe it's Kimmy, but you don't know for sure. What do you do?
I would try to distract Kimmy. Like, how about you log on first while I get my computer TV set up?
Right, cool. Okay, you should totally get a solid straight drive. Like they start so much faster. You probably just like have an old SATA or something like that, or she just rattles off a bunch of computer stuff. What do you do as she's logging into her island and distracted for a few moments?
I'd probably like try to get the sprites to get away somehow.
Okay. Cool. So let's take a look and see what you've got. As a digital champion, you've got Avatar, which means you can send your soul into another world. Probably don't want to do that. I don't think right here. Portable projector. Oh, that's cool. You can make your avatar appear in the human world. And hacking. You can break into computerized or Magitech systems. That might be what you want to do here. So you want to kick those sprites out. So
Yes.
what does your hacking look like, Tima?
I want to go like old tech hacking, where it's like the black screen with neon green lettering.
Okay, I love it. Very, very Matrix style. Love it. Awesome. So with hacking, you can break into computerized or Magitech systems, which is similar to what you're doing. You're trying to boot whoever is invading your system. So roll plus cool. You're going to roll 2d6, add your cool. Unfortunately, your cool is a -1.
It's 2d6, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
So 8, I think.
Yep. Yeah, you rolled a 9 minus 1 is an 8 on a 7 to 9. You do it, but you also suffer some bad consequences, such as triggering security protocols or leaving a digital footprint. Some consequences, and a digital footprint probably doesn't make as much sense here because you're not going into someone else. You're trying to expel another person. You realize the consequence is that you're going to need to spend some more time on this team. If you really want to secure your system, either you're going to have to let Kimmy run the Twitch stream without you paying attention to her, or you need to get rid of her. What do you do? Kimmy's logged in. She's got everything set up. She's giggling a little bit because she got some mail, and now she's talking about going to the airport. What do you do?
That's hard. I would probably let her do the Twitch stream with, of course, like saying something to my followers first, like.
Oh, like saying something like, "Hey."
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Now, one of the things I noticed is that as an idol, you chose to have roadies. So you do have a production team who will show up with refreshments, sound equipment, lights, and an artificial wind whenever you might need it. So don't forget that you've got that. So you're going to give the Twitch stream a quick heads up that you're lending your stream to a friend to play some Animal Crossing, and Kimmy giggles ravenously as you go in to try to figure out what's happening. Now, here's the first thing that you find out. Whoever is trying to crack into your system is using a hacker name that you've never seen before, and it is Zolnir. That is the name that this hacker is using as they're trying to break into your system.
Oh.
Yeah, so you see that name. You're able to work a little bit, re-secure your systems. You feel like maybe you've gotten things under control while Kimmy is busy playing Animal Crossing and talking into the microphone to your thousands of followers. And then we're going to cut away from you to Emily. So Emily, after the track practice tryouts, what is it that Emily, aka Valkyrie, does?
I kind of feel like if she doesn't have any pending responsibilities at home, like, chores or the like, she would go straight into hero business.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is hero business? What does that look like for Emily Reinhardt?
That would probably look like finding a discreet place to. No, you know what it is? It's. This is let me know if this makes anybody uncomfortable, okay? Like, if she will be patrolling maybe downtown rather than in the subdivision or suburbs. And she would be looking for trouble. She'll be looking for anybody who'd be in trouble. And so that just kind of makes her like, she's wearing the hoodie. She's, got her hands in her pockets, fairly creepy. And so if anyone's uncomfortable, let me know. And when she sees someone being harassed or accosted or someone clearly committing a crime, that's when she will go somewhere else, transform, and dispense justice.
Got it. So that's the plan. That's what she has in her head. And I'm kind of seeing,
yeah.
If we remember, this is a rural Twin Peaksy type town. So I don't think it's like heavy on, like, first of all, I don't think that the downtown is very impressive. Second
it's
of all,
like a main road, right?
Like crime dense. So I kind of imagine that there's a little bit of that, Spider-Man where you're like returning a bike and other things for a little bit. But then after a few scenes of Emily thinking that this is the big crime and jumping in to stop stuff, but no, it's a misunderstanding, or this person's, are they stealing a purse? No, it's like a joke or a prank of some kind. And then you see that there's a truck that rumbles past and nearly runs over a kid that wasn't paying much attention, kind of gone out into the road. And you see this about to happen. Like this truck is just not even going to slow down for this kid. What do you do, Emily, seeing this
Ooh.
possible accident?
Let me just preface this by saying that Emily clearly has an unhealthy relationship with her powers.
Yes.
And so what she would do is to dive in front of the kid, and and shield him, and if necessary, like take out the truck.
Wow, that's great. If I
Yeah.
remember correctly, you've got to leap before you look, so you're coming to the rescue with hot instead of cool.
That's right. I almost forgot. I mean, I just wrote it down like moments ago on a separate piece of paper. But yeah, yeah. Leap before you look. And how does one roll to the rescue? Come to the rescue moves. And stuff?
Come to the rescue. You're going to roll 2d6 plus hot, which is a 2. And come to the rescue is down on.
Yeah, I see it.
Row 28.
All right, ready to roll. 2d6. Wait, I forgot to add. Oh, well, I did it already. It's a 6 plus 2, so that's an 8.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, you take the harm from the hit instead of them. Oh, my. You get hit. So you like grab this kid and kind of like shove them out of the way and they get clipped by the truck as it continues on. Is that what that looks like?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Ooh, dang, that is rough because that truck, as I said, big, like a dump truck, basically. It clips you and you take, you're going to take a harm. So you get to choose the type of harm that you take. I don't recommend dying. I don't think it's...
in this form, she has armor 1. So that should help at least.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, I think let's go ahead and say that due to that armor in this form, so you're in your Valkyrie form or in your normal form?
Valkyrie form.
Oh, you Valkyried up. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
in downtown. That's a good call. Awesome. So it the armor saves you from taking any dramatic wounds, and the dump truck doesn't even slow down. It doesn't even stop, and it continues going on, rumbling past you. And you see that it's got on the side Baldur Mining Corp, and it continues on like it's just riding like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, I like to visualize this as like she jumps in, she grabs the kid and shoves him out, and then when the truck hits her, like it really lands, like the furthest edge of the rig, like clips her on the shoulder, and so she doesn't take damage, but the force is enough to knock her to the side of the road, so that it's not just she got banged and then she gets run over by the truck.
Yeah, that's not what armor's supposed to do. I get you. Yeah, that's totally
yes, and that's she's probably gonna feel that in terms of like it'll be sore in the shoulder or something.
and so you see this Baldur mining corp dump truck zip past, and then you hear that kid. Is that a sword?
Is
that a real sword?
And Emily says, sorry, not Emily, Valkyrie says, it is in fact a sword. And I'll say it fell on the ground, and she picks it up, swings it overhead dramatically, and then immediately sheathes it, and then, tries to say something cool, like, take, watch for, it's a bungled cool. So it's kind of like, watch where you're going, young one, and then flies off. And, as she flies off, it's like saying, I could have worded that better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Abbott, you finished up supper, and your mom apologizes. Honey, I'm sorry. I need to head back to the office. We've got some month-end reports to finish up. Are you going to be okay here by yourself? I'm sure you have homework or something, right?
Yeah, Mom. I mean, of course.
Okay, and I'll get you some new gym shorts. Okay.
He's so mortified by this. He's just mortified. It's just like, Mom. Oh my God, Mom.
Abby, it's okay. You're a growing boy. Of course, he call you Abby, right?
Oh God, he just walks out of the room. He's just like, oh, Mom, leave me alone. Just walks out of the room.
Nice. Cool. So soon we see some time passes. Her car goes out. The only lights that are on are, your room. And then we hear the gloom, gloom. Hey, you done with your homework?
I think he's not done with his homework, but he's just like, he just puts it aside. He's like, yeah, I'm done.
Cool. So, you want to do something?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, what are we gonna do? Let's do something cool.
All right, let's head down to the mine. You said Watanabe was causing some trouble or something, right?
Yeah, no, that was scary. But I think, yeah, if we go together, I'll be okay. Let's do it. Let's go there.
All right, get in me.
Yeah, so I think this is like, classic, like his whole chest kind of swivels up, and but he's got to like really physically climb in. He's got to there's nothing automatic about it. So Apple like climbs up, like gets in. And again, he's like an old thing. He's like straps, like there's like probably like old worn straps. He straps himself in, and then he's really physically connected to this thing, and there's immediately this feeling. It's not a bad feeling, but there's this feeling of his sort of energy flowing out of him into this thing. Totally. And he feels just like a little like,
Yeah. And I think what we see when we see Ike, right, is there's this like superimposed, almost silhouette type image of Abbott, like above it, because you're there, you guys are combined. And so we're going to jump Tima, you trying to figure out who this Zolnir is, and did a little bit of a reverse trace and found out that evidently this hacker who's trying to crash your system is somewhere around that Baldur Mining Corp the headquarters near the mine. What would you do about that? If you get access to the main system, you can shut them down for good. Jira Serene?
I think my audio glitched out if you're talking to me.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
I was. That's okay. Let me spin it back up. So Tima, you found out that this Zolnir hacker is actually, like, you do a little bit of a trace try to figure out where this is coming from. Imagining it's probably somewhere across the world, maybe China, maybe it's in the Middle East, but no, it's actually coming from your hometown. Whoever this hacker is trying to take you down, is actually got their system set up right in Baldur Mining Corporation. If you got access to their mainframe, you could shut them down for good. Okay. It looks like they're trying to hit you with like a denial of service attack, and they're continuing to try to ping and come after you. If you wanted to head to the mining corp, you could, but you probably need to kick Kimmy out, or just leave her on your stream unsupervised.
I'm probably tell Kimmy that I realize I had something to do in town and I have to leave, and she has to leave too, because I'm not leaving her alone in my house.
But no, it's okay. I'll just you don't want your stream to go idle. I'll just keep playing. Look, I'm fishing. No one ever has any trouble with fishing.
I still have to go, and I don't want you in my house. Thank you very much. Please leave.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so You're gonna tell her she's got to go, and Kimmy, I think you're gonna talk her into doing this without causing a scene, right? You're gonna talk her into this. So let's have you roll plus charm. So 2d6 plus your character's charm, and you being an idol, surely you're pretty charming. Yeah, you got a charm of 1.
I got a 12.
What? That's amazing. You are so super charming. Kimmy says, okay, I'm Hugger, and I really appreciate this opportunity to be on your stream. It was really great. So I'm coming in now. And she turns her head and she starts moving forward because she's super, like, she wants to give you a quick hug before she takes off. But then she'll get out of your hair. She grabs all her stuff. Do you decline? It's like you redirect her on the hug attempt, or no?
I give her like a side hug.
Nice. She's good with that. She's good with the side hug. She grabs all of her SD cards, throw them back into her bag, grabs all of her stuff. Oh, this was super fun. And they'd be like, some other time I could be, or you could come on my stream, which you could totally use it because like it's like a bunch of bots and my mom, so I could use the help. Thanks. Okay, see you, Tima. And she will take off. So. All right. So checking in, Valkyrie, when you flew off, do we see you following that dump truck?
Yeah.
Nice. So we see Valkyrie flying after the dump truck from Baldur Mining Company, and it goes and it like pulls off into a side road, and you see a bunch of shadows move around these copse of trees. And a bunch of shadowy figures all jump into the back of the dump truck. And you see them moving very, very quickly. And they duck down, and then all of a sudden, all of those shadowy folk, they just look like a bunch of rocks. It's like a bunch of rocks.
Are those shadowy figures like, you mean like,
people-sized shadowy figures?
Yeah, are they like,
I wouldn't say ninjas because there's no such things as ninjas.
No, what I mean is like, are they suspicious looking, or are they literally beings made of shadow?
They're suspicious looking, shadowy figures, but they do appear to be people, at least until they hunker down in the back of the dump truck and then all of a sudden look like a bunch of rocks. Then maybe...
Sorry, my imagination runs wild when somebody says
I should be
figures.
A little more descriptive. I'm sorry about that.
I'm like, what? The Dark Lords are here?
So you see some folks who are clad in black gi who scramble up into this dump truck, and then suddenly they shift and their forms become that of rocks. They disappear from sight, and the dump truck rumbles on, heading towards Baldur Mining.
How irresponsible would it be for me to follow alone? I'm not sure. I'm so tempted to sneak in, but I'm worried if like this is not an advisable act. You know, Valkyrie sneaks, tries to get a closer look at what's going on.
Nice. So we will, just because like I said, I wanted a group scene. You're sneaking, flying along, Valkyrie, when you see, Ike, right? Abbott and Ike. You guys have a bond, your neighbors. You see Ike clomping along, and maybe there's like a pilot light or something to where that he's not just by himself, that Abbott is driving. And how does Tima arrive at the mine?
They have a scooter.
Oh, nice. And
that's
you also,
like their main source of transportation.
So you're seeing Ike just clomping along, heading to the mine, and then you see this is an electric scooter or a little
manual.
Nice little manual scooter zipping along, a very stylish Tima Scotswell, looking cool, heading to a big nasty mine. So Valkyrie, you've seen them both, but they haven't yet run into each other. So how do you draw that connection where everybody is together?
Sorry, were you asking me the question or?
Yes, I'm sorry, Valkyrie. You're the one who's got the eye in the sky. You're sneaking
Yeah.
along. You see Ike. You see Tima. What do you do to draw everybody together? So we have a
What do I know? Do I know about Ike already? I'm not sure. It's been 2 weeks, so I forgot the
No, that's say
exact
okay.
relation.
I
Yeah, exact
think
relation.
so. So if we look back at our bonds,
Yeah,
Abbott's bond with Emily is you live next door,
yeah.
but again, Abbott just moved in, and then Emily been trying to befriend them to no avail. Tell them why you keep trying. So I'll leave it up to you guys. I don't think our bonds necessarily say it. I could see it as a thing where in a previous episode, if you go and dig up the old DVDs, you'll see the one where they met, or this could be it. It's really
Oh, yeah, I like that. Sorry, you're saying?
Wait, which one do you like?
I'm sorry, I
Oh,
gave two.
the previous volume of the series on DVD or Blu-ray features our introduction. This is not that DVD.
Good.
Nice. So
I'm with you. That's what I was thinking too. Like, I
Yeah.
think, as I recall, actually, you might have even said, like, I think Emily's like the only person who really knows about Ike. Like
Nice.
that.
Yeah. All right, so uh, Valkyrie flew over to Ike, and she can see, like, I guess, let me know if this dumb. Like, there's a small light somewhere in, like, on the chest or whatever, that it's like the equivalent of you know rider on board kind of thing, and so she knows that Abbott's there, and sort of like takes up position on the shoulder. And how big is Ike? He's like what, 10 feet or 30 feet?
No, more like maybe a little more than 10, but like not 30, like 15. 15.
I see. Okay. So in that case, she sort of like floats above shoulder, kind of like, right, and together they move around as if trying to avoid light sources so that they're not seen. And Valkyrie relays what she has seen directly to Abbott and Ike. I've seen.
Let's bring Tima in here as well, if that's okay. Just
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, and then I think. Sorry to be like weird director. I feel like that's the perfect time for Tima to sort of like Tokyo drift her way with Tokyo drift their way to the group with their scooter.
cool. So yeah, Tima,
That's good.
you come rolling up on Emily. Does Emily look like Emily but with Valkyrie armor, or does Emily's face change and everything? I imagine Emily looks like Emily, so Tima might recognize Valkyrie, or do you think otherwise?
I think Tima would recognize Emily right away. It wouldn't be obvious if you didn't know to look for it. So, for example, the live action comparison I would make is that if one were to style her makeup and hair would be different, like, but it doesn't really hide any of her features.
Ah, got it.
Yeah,
Cool. So
yeah.
it's totally Emily, but she's flying and wearing armor and a giant robot who's seen better days. Tima, that's what you come sliding into.
And looking left and right, Valkyrie explains the situation that she was just on patrol. She tried to save a kid, and the truck that got her was one of Baldur's, and feeling that there was more to do in the day and in the night, followed the truck and found some shadowy figures emerging and taking rocks and everything you described. And I think something bad is going on with Baldur.
And Tima and Abbott, the last time they were there at the mine, they were there together, right?
Yeah.
After when they saw Mrs. Watanabe. So I don't know, Tima, what you think, but like I think hearing this, Abbott's first reaction. I mean, Tima, you might not even know that this is Abbott because you have not seen Ike before. But like, I think Abbott's first reaction is like, Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know if I told you about the last time we were here. Tima, and I think this is now maybe the first time. Maybe you're like hearing this voice. You're like, wait, Abbott is talking out of a gigantic robot. Uh,
Are you having trouble hearing us, Randy?
A little bit. I heard most of that.
Okay.
So, but my mic was having a problem for a sec. But yeah, that sounds good. I'm probably just like internally freaking out, basically. Like, wow, these are my friends. I didn't realize that this is them.
Nice. So I'm imagining that the mine here is not just like a single hole as much as like a strip mine. So there's like a hole, like it's almost like a reverse ziggurat in a way, where you've got a bunch of different layers as they have strip mined deeper and deeper and deeper in. And then there is actually a boring drill that's drilled deeper and deeper down. But it's one of those where it just kind of goes down a long ways. And we see the three of you, Abbott inside Ike, Valkyrie and Tima, looking down, and you see that same dump truck, Valkyrie, and Tima, Abbott. Two of you see, oh well, it's just a dump truck hauling a bunch of rocks. Then the rocks get up, and they're ninjas. And they very sleekly hop off of the back of the truck. And you see that the main offices here, it's like a trailer type deal, that there's a person who comes down out of the offices, followed by none other than the mask wearing Mrs. Watanabe, your teacher. And all the ninjas come around, and they like get in these neat little like 3 rows, and they pop down and take a knee. And you guys are too far away to be able to hear what they're talking about. What do you do?
Do I recognize Watanabe for who she is with the mask?
Ooh, do you recognize her for what she is? I mean, is this a thing where you might want to study hard?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. When you study hard, you get a number of facts about whatever you're looking into. So you roll with smart. Now, don't forget, you can ask for help. You can use bonds to help you out as well. So,
and that would maybe make sense, because I would have probably, and Tima may have also conveyed just a bit of information about the last time we were there.
That's true.
So that would be a bit of a clue. Not that we know necessarily the answer to this question, but it would be a clue.
Yeah. I'll say I pull on, like, I sort of like turn to Tima, and ask them, like, do you recognize the person? Like, even though Valkyrie, like, even though Emily sees herself as kind of like, a senpai to Tima, she's very quick to like ask Tima for help. Like, she sees Tima as an expert, or someone with insights that never really like come to her naturally.
Nice.
So rolling with smart, and I guess that's with a bond as well.
So here's the way it works. You can use bonds in a few different ways. You can use a bond to give yourself a +1 on a roll, but a teammate can use a bond to help you, and they give you a +2 on the roll.
I see.
Sorry, I just sneezed.
So does that mean Ren has to like do something?
Yeah, if we get an idea of how Tima is helping, if Tima wants to help.
Yes, I would try to help as best as I can. I feel like they would have like some technology gadget on them.
Oh.
Like, that could easily help. And also like going with the idol thing with the roadies,
Mhm.
I feel like they also might be there. That's just like a
They just
thing
show
I was
up.
thinking
Yeah,
about.
I love it.
Yeah, they just pop and they like know about the other side of Tima, and
Mm-mm.
they help fight.
Nice. I love it.
I also love the idea of a technology that just like projects from your palm, and wherever you face it, it scans it, sort of like a very long range biometric reader.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them shows up to help out with the gadget. The other one comes up and just like, redoes your hair just a little bit, Tima, just to make, okay, and the best lights right here.
What? So that's 2d6 -1 for my smart, and then I get what plus.
+2 from that bond, so you're up to
All right.
+1.
All right, let's do it. 2d6 +1. Hit it.
Oh
That's
my
a
goodness.
12.
That is amazing. So, the study hard is in column C at the top. And on a 10+, you can ask the principal 2 questions. There are some suggested questions if you have a hard time thinking of them, but hopefully
Yeah.
you can figure out something.
What's going on here and what's dangerous? I think are very straightforward 2 questions to
Nice.
get through.
What's going on here and what's dangerous? So what's going on here is so what's dangerous are there's like 30 some ninjas. Are ninjas plural, or is mini ninjas a ninja, or is it ninjas? I think
it's just ninjas.
It's ninjas. Okay, good. I don't want it to be like you can't pluralize this word, because that would break my heart. So what's dangerous here? A bunch of ninjas who all seem to be paying attention to your classroom teacher, who's wearing this wicked mask and a totally dope looking black, like a person in black suit there. And you, because of Tima's help, maybe you have some kind of like boom mic or something. You're able to pick up a little bit of her speech. And Ms. Watanbe says, "Tonight is the night. The hour is upon us. My minions, we will bring the demon. We will bring Zulnir back from his hell dimension tonight. Everything is in place."
Out of character. Yeah, okay, that's bad.
Yeah, that's the dangerous thing. And then you see what Watanbe like swipes her hand to the side, and the ninjas all take out, and they're heading towards that giant hole that at the very base of the mine where they had the boring equipment, the huge drill. It looks like they're forming around the hole in some kind of weird symmetrical pattern. They start popping their hands and doing some weird ninja po magic or something. What do you guys do?
I Tima and I have it, and I go like, "Is this the time to leap into action?"
Yeah, I mean, Abbott is very freaked out by this, but I think I think maybe even like because Ike probably would very much want to leap into action here. So I feel like there's kind of that influence of Ike on him. I mean, there's obviously this kind of interchange between him and Ike, and he kind of like, it kind of gives him a bit of confidence, and he's like, "Yeah, we got to stop this." And it sounds not like you have heard Abbott sound before.
Yeah. Like he adopts a lower register, sort of like it's still his voice, but it's a lower register.
Right.
Exactly. I just want to say, like, even I don't want to like seem like I'm like dominating scenes or like making the character out to be some kind of like self-styled leader. It's just that Valkyrie will always want to, like, again, want to unhealthily throw herself into the fray, but she also knows that she is the dumbest of the 3. Well, not dumbest, but just not as smart as the other 2. so any prudence and caution she's gonna expect from everybody else.
Fair.
Tima?
I'm not really sure what Tima would do.
With that tentative, like, sort of like that agreement from Tima, Valkyrie leaps into action.
Nice. Tima, as you watch Valkyrie jump into action, you see Abbott inside Ike about to do a thing. Glance down at your phone and you see that your phone is being hacked. And like you see all of your contacts are starting to get uploaded. And it's obviously this Zolnir there that's going to strip you bare if you don't do something. What do you do?
I'd probably like try to keep my stuff and then see if I can get an exact pinpoint of where they are, like in the mine, like where we are.
Ooh, nice. So let's have you. Let's see. What? I don't think you have any specific moves for trying to locate someone, so it might just be a simple study hard. Let's see. I don't think there's any other move that works better.
5 scenarios.
So go ahead and roll 2d6 plus your smart. And it looks like your smart is a 1. So you're going to roll 2d6 plus 1.
I have gestational diabetes, postpartum hemorrhage.
I got a 9.
Okay. With a 9 on study smart, you can ask a question. Your question was, you want to locate where this is? That's only one question. It only requires one question. It's coming from the hole. It's coming from where the drill has pierced downwards. It's where those ninjas have circled around and are doing some weird ninja pole magic or something.
So it's the evil ninjas.
Yep, looks like it. So, Valkyrie and Ike, or Abbott, I'm gonna stop saying Ike because it's totally Abbott doing the stuff now. You're the mech pilot. He's just the mech. Yeah, it's not like we would. This isn't. The show was not called Kit Rider. Okay, it was after Michael Knight. It was Knight Rider.
Fair.
All right, somebody's telling me a cool pick. Oh, that's an awesome pick. What is this of? No shenanigans. No shenanigans at all. That's a dope pick. Sweet. So, with that information, would Tima follow Abbott and Valkyrie down?
Yes, they would. They would like immediately be following, seeing if they can see who this person is.
Now, is this a thing where Tima would go as Tima, maybe hop on their scooter to head down? Or do you want to engage powers and shift into your avatar?
They would shift into their avatar.
Okay.
Like,
Yay!
Awesome. So because you have portable projector, your avatar can appear in the human world for a scene. This is awesome. It's exhausting, so you'll be taking the condition fatigued for the next scene. Not now, but let's just remember that when Tima comes back from this after projecting into their avatar, that you'll be fatigued. So let's have you I don't. You roll powers engaged to send your soul, but you got portal projectors, so you can appear in the human world. So you don't need to roll powers engaged. But what is your avatar? What does it look like? What form does it take? This avatar that you have.
I would be thinking from like a PvP RPG game, like one of those ones that you would like, I don't know, like play on the phone, or like where it's the casual like silver armor, maybe a couple colors of
giving
different
Valkyrie a run for
patterns.
her money with your awesome silver armor. I see. Nice.
Like very old video game aesthetic.
Nice. I dig it. What kind of weapon does Tima in their avatar state wield?
Probably like a long sword and like shield.
Yeah, so I think Valkyrie and the avatar of Tima are pretty well paired there. So the three of you come down the slopes, the different gradations of the strip mine, barreling forward towards these ninjas, and they're going to meet you in combat. But first, we're going to take a bio break. We'll just go ahead. This is our commercial break, right? We're at the perfect moment that a commercial would happen. So let me go ahead. So for the first time in this mini series, that is obviously a backdoor pilot to a full series that we will not be able to see, but maybe it's region-free DVDs or Blu-rays can make it happen. All three of you are heading down to face off some ninjas with some ill content, and Ms. Watanabe is not going to recognize Tima, not going to recognize Abbott because you're in a giant robot. But yeah, Valkyrie, you realize that your teacher might recognize you, maybe, since you don't have like a face enshrouding helmet of any kind. Are you going to try to avoid her?
Well, not to sound like a bit of a cop out, but I always felt like the helmet has a thing that goes here on the top with like little slits in there.
Oh, I thought you said it was an opus-faced helmet. That's how Tima could recognize you. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean when she's moving around, it's up, and then it's like you can put your hand and slide the thing down. You know
All
what I
right,
mean?
awesome. So you
Like a night, yeah, like
Totally
a
get it.
partial night helm thing.
Got it. That sounds awesome. So all of you are obfuscated from her view at the moment. We'll keep that in mind. Sounds good. So Ms. Watanabe sees the three of you. She's going to key in on the giant mech suit because you look like the most obvious threat.
Oh no.
And she's going to say, huh, an old mecha. Yes, this will be fun. Come along, Ike. And she has a ring, and you see, the camera zooms in on it, and it's a symbol that you see on the different ninja gis as well. Valkyrie, you know that this is some kind of name of their clan, and they are known as the Hiza clan. I'll put that in chat. And so Ms. Watanabe is going to close her fist around this ring, and you see little drops of blood drip out of it. And she is summoning her demon armor. And we see this huge, like, carapace form around her that's just perfectly like slitted to where she can move in it. And along her chest is like this kind of big model flesh colored thing, and then all of a sudden you see this eye open up on the side of it. It's like, bigger than my fist, and it blinks as she charges forward towards you. Ike, what do you do?
So Ike has this massive laser sword that has not yet been drawn. So I think the first thing Ike does and Abbott does in Ike is unsheath, like, kind of from behind the back, this laser sword, and laser sword, like everything else, is aged, so it crackles and blinks like a fluorescent light, and I think also like sparks when things hit it, like one of those like fly traps, like bing bing, and it's huge. It's like it's like Claymore to Ike's human being, so it's almost as tall as Ike himself, and he goes for it. He charges straight at her, and I think says in something that perhaps Miss Watanabe will find very confusing, is like, "Mrs. Watanabe, I can't let you do this," and charges with the sword.
Nice. You are gonna go all out. You put yourself in harm's way and fight with everything you've got. So roll with hot.
All right, let's see. My hot is about okay, 1. Right. 8. 8.
Okay, so as we look at the go all out, first time we've done that, you get to pick one from the following list. It's from the 10 plus. So if you look on column A, row 54 of the moves and stuff tab. On a 10 plus, pick 2 from the following list. You harm them, they don't harm you. You help a friend, which passes a +1 forward to a teammate of your choice. On a 10 plus, you pick 2 of those. You rolled a mid result 7 to 9, so you get to pick one of those. So do you want to harm them or not be harmed by Ms. Watanabe and her weird demon armor claws stuff?
So I think I want to harm them and also take harm. And also the other thing about being an Ike is when I'm an Ike, I do big harm. So I don't know what difference that makes, but it's big harm, not regular harm.
Nice.
Yeah. And the sword is dangerous because the laser sword is dangerous. So I think, again, I think this is like Abbott infused with Ike's like gung-ho emotions, like full on like letting loose in a way that is liberating for him in this moment, and just charges straight at Mrs. Watanabe, swing claymore overhead, no thought of self-defense, just full-on offense attack.
That's wicked. I'm glancing over the big harm as you describe this very impressive attack, and that is crazy. Your big harm, yeah, it's the kind of harm that's done by giant robots, huge summons, and kaiju. They have you will have extra large heart boxes that are each divided into 4 smaller boxes. So it's like 4 times harm. Each big harm is translated into 4 ordinary harm. That's crazy. I love it. So I think what happens then is when she whips out this weird demon armor and you come over with the overhand strike, right? Like, boom, we see this huge explosion of light as it slams into her. She throws her arms up trying to block it, but then she's like driven into the ground. And I need to memorize the page that the Hiza clan is on, so because I keep jumping around. All right. Wow. Yeah, she took a lot of damage. Sweet. So you did dangerous and big harm. So I think what happens is you not only like it's enough damage to where she's hurt by it, but not taken out. And I think that part of our armor starts to like bleed and dissipate, and it's like hissing along the ground as you slam into her. We cut to Tima in your awesome avatar sword and shield, classic RPG look. There are a bunch of ninjas who are charging after you. They're doing the Naruto run towards you, eyes intense. What is it that we see you do, Tima?
They probably just try to I don't know, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, is it a thing where she just like goes into straight up combat and is hacking away at the ninja as they try to attack her with their weird little claws and ninja toes and other weapons?
Yeah, they would just go straight up and attack the ninjas.
Go all out then. Go ahead and roll with hot. Unless you've got a move that does otherwise, I think that's what we'll do. And I think your hot, it looks like, is a 2. You're really good at fighting. So 6 plus 2.
Yes. That'd be an 8, I think, if I can math.
You rolled a 6, so that would be an 8. That is awesome. So yes, supremely agile figures swathed all in black, hard to track. They move very quickly, but you go all out and strike. So with the mid result, you can either harm them or you're not able to take any of them down, but they don't harm you back. It's like a pass. Like you guys are sizing each other up. Their weapons glance off of your shield, that kind of stuff. Which would you rather do?
Probably prevent harm from myself.
Yeah. Oh, and just to circle back to Abbott, you actually would have taken harm yourself because you didn't choose to not take harm. So let's go ahead and have you mark one harm box because she would have been able to kind of burn through that armor for at least one. So let's have you mark that. And so, bouncing back to Tima, you chose to go ahead and unharm the ninjas, even though you might take some harm. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you slash out with this amazing sword of yours. A couple of the ninja fall. One of them reaches in and like hits this point where your armor doesn't meet, and they hit a pressure point, and you take one harm. So go ahead and which box do you think is appropriate? Bruised could work, or battered, or scuffed. Heck, even if you want, maybe that pressure point is like a cut and you're bleeding. Which harm do you want?
I'd probably just do bruised.
Okay. So you take down a couple of the ninja. One of them is able to get a perfect strike on you. And then we cut to Valkyrie. Now, Valkyrie, there were enough ninja to where some could continue doing whatever weird hand gestury magic. And they sent off some of the ninja after Tima, while Watambe was facing off with Abbott. We have the drill, and then you have the ninjas that are using their weird magic, try to do something around the hole caused by the drill. So imagine there's just like this huge round hole that goes down in, it's like a chasm. There's a drill that's still actually down in it, and then around that hole, standing around it, are all 13, because why not? 13 ninjas. They're all using their ninja magic to do something. What do you want to do, Valkyrie?
A baker's dozen of evil ninjas. Got it.
Exactly.
At first, Emily is tempted to taunt or goad Watanabe into a challenge, but she sees what's going on, and looks at the 13 ninjas, stares them down, and says, "Your sins lay heavy upon you, defilers of souls. I will judge you with the dark laws," and proceeds to sort of like. So I'll be honest with you. I'm tempted to both proclaim my feelings in order to get an ongoing, or just flat out disrupt their plans, disrupt the situation by going in hot. And I'm not sure which one I can do.
I think proclaiming your feelings sounds fun because it gives you a little bit of a charge up. It's exactly where you led with her speech.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. So let's have you roll plus hot. And if you do that, then you get a +1 ongoing, which is great.
All right. Rolling with hot is, I believe it's my highest stats, 2. All right, got it. 2d6 plus 2. It is a 10.
Nice. So 10 is perfect. You get +1 ongoing while acting on those feelings. So while acting to do the, what was it, the dark law, the judgment that you proclaimed?
Yes.
Awesome. So as long as you're carrying it out on these ninja, you've got a +1. The hole itself was this like inky blackness, pulses with red, and you hear the sound of this low groaning noise, and the ground starts to rumble and shake. And you, Valkyrie, have a front row seat because you're flying in to attack these ninja. You see this like massive hand reach up and claw into the side of the inside of this hole. Something is coming out of it. So
It's not the end of the world, but if it is, we'll be able to see it from here.
if it's not the end of the world, it might be the end of Shadowrock Glen. We swing around to Abbott. You slice that gigantic sword down on Watambe, knocked her down into the ground. She's not out yet, though. She was able to claw at you. Maybe she kind of reached around and clawed at your robotic hand, which hurts your mech, not you, so you don't have to take any of the harm to yourself. And when you bring your sword up again, she stands to her feet, and you see that she is like using that ring, and more blood is starting to flow, and this blood red ruby sword flashes out, and she's going to try to face you. And she says, "Oh, Ike, I don't have to defeat you. I just need for my master to rise."
So yeah, I think well, first, Abbott has this. I've been reading a lot of WH40K Titan novels recently. So Abbott has this like connection with the robot. So he's hurt too. Like he hurt.
Okay,
Not like
right.
I mean, like I'm just saying he feels the pain, right? Like he just he feels the pain, and so he's just shocked by this because he's never been in a battle before. It's not like Valkyrie. He's just friends with this mech. This is. He's also kind of shocked that he hurt somebody. And I think like before Mr. Watanabe got back up, like there was a pause where he just like stepped back and was just like shocked to see someone bleeding because of something that he did.
Nice.
He was like just like. But then I think he's just scared. He kind of steps back. It gives her that opportunity, right, to bring out this sword. And then, then he realizes that he's in this, and Ike realizes that he's in this for, his life. And I suppose also sees this thing coming out of this portal. Is that behind Ms. Watanabe? Is that like... Yeah,
she's basically trying to hold you off, so that whatever's going on in the big hole in the ground that is the mine can happen.
Just trying to decide just how self-sacrificing and reckless Abbott is actually going to be. Like, is he going to jump? Because I think he wants to stop the thing that she just told him she's going to try to stop him from stopping. So he's going to try to get by her to stop this thing from coming out of the portal. He's not going to try to fight. He's not going to try to kill her. He's going to try to stop this thing from coming out of the portal. So he's going to, he's going to just try to get past her. And
react fast. I think you're trying to act quickly in a tough situation. So go ahead and roll plus cool, which it turns out though you'd never admit it, even to yourself, of the three of you, you're the most cool.
Surprisingly the coolest. All right.
I'm so happy to hear that. Awesome.
8.
Nice. Thank goodness for that +2. Otherwise, that would have been terrible. So on react fast, the 7 to 9, you do it, but the principal, that's the name for me, the MC, will give you a difficult choice or consequence. So you can leap past Watambe, but she's going to slice at that ruby with her ruby sword. She's going to slice at you. And here's the thing. It's not that it's going to hurt. You realize that with her angle, she thinks, oh, there's a pilot in there. I'm going to pry it open. And if you rush past her without defeating her first, she's going to slice with that sword, and your like housing is going to open up, and she may see that it's you, Abbott. And you want to talk
Oh.
about tension.
Yeah, Well, Abbott ran till his shorts tore off. He's gonna run in a mech until the thing rips open.
That's amazing. You are nothing if not dedicated,
Yeah, exactly.
despite the ripping of things that should be on you. Great. So yeah, we see the interior, right, where you're inside the mech suit, and as you're moving, we see this ruby sword like slice, and you could see the darkness outside because remember the sun was set, so it's pretty dark outside, other than like floodlights that are happening to just perfectly animate a giant ninja fight. And yeah, you move forward as this big thing is climbing out. It is bigger than Ike. It's bigger than you, but you are obviously the only one large enough to face this thing. Obviously, no one else can do it, Abbott. That's what I'm saying. It might not be true.
And he just gets ready. He just battle stance, claymore, laser claymore up, ready to go.
Laser Claymore is the best. Sweet. We flip over to Tima. In your avatar state, you are still fighting. You've taken out a number of the ninja, but there are 4 left standing. They stand kind of shoulder to shoulder, obviously trying to block you from going in. And when you see this weird demon creature climb out of the chasm, that hole that had been drilled, you see that part of his chest is like a bunch of old circuit boards and weird wires and the like. He's the one who's been hacking all of your stuff. And these ninjas are trying to keep you from getting to him. So what is it that you do, Tima?
I kind of want to just trudge my way trying to get to him.
Okay. Awesome. So it sounds like you might be going all out once more. Yeah. So let's go ahead and have you roll plus hot.
That's a 7.
Oh, digital demon. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So with a 7, you again have that one choice. You can either harm these ninjas, which I'll just tell you that you'll be able to take them down, but it'll kind of slow you down. Or you can keep from taking harm, but would not be able to progress past them this time around.
I think it will actually be a 9. I don't know if that changes anything.
It doesn't. 7 to 9 are all the same set of results.
I'd probably do damage to them, even though it does damage to me.
Nice. So several of their ninja stars bounce off of your shield, and you deflect another ninja toe coming at you. Then you kick one of the ninjas, and you take them down. But as one goes down, he like flings this little poison star and hits you, and it hurts. So you take another box of harm. So go ahead and mark off a box for the harm. What is it? Which harm do you think you took? What do we see?
I chose scuffed because, like, I imagine the armor would be scuffed a bit with the tiny little stars.
I love it. Cool. And so you move up, and now you're standing beside Abbott. But Valkyrie, you had declared your power. Now you see that this demon has been summoned. None other than Zulnir the Unstoppable is here. The demon god that fuels the Hiza clan. And the ninjas have finished their spell. What do you want to do, Valkyrie? I'm sorry, you're muted, Matthew.
Well, all I really said was, "Ooh, oh my god!"
Good to hear it.
Yeah, a lot of big deal. Oh my god. I look to Tima and Valkyrie looks to Tima and to Abbott and says, "Somebody figure something out about like how to put this thing down," and engages the. Are there any more ninjas left, or did Tima take out the last of them?
Tima took out the ninjas that were trying to stop them, but there were the 13 who had cast the spell that you were about to try to attack as they finished summoning.
All right.
the demon.
I make good on my promise. I make good on my promise now that the demon has been summoned, and proceed to go in hot on the 13 ninjas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're going all out. Go ahead and roll with hot.
Yeah. Let's see. Go out, hot, and then the amount of your harm you do to your opponent and the success is based on the type or weapon attack you have available. All right. I have a 3 harm weapon, so yeah.
Okay, so you're able to do 3 harm. By the way, I apologize that we did
So
not.
let me-
I did not ask you to do a transformation sequence earlier. I feel like that was a real missed opportunity on my part.
It's okay. It's okay. So let me roll that hot move now. 2d6
Okay.
plus 2. Rolling. It's a 4. Oh no.
It's oh goodness.
Oh my.
Oh well, the good news is you get an XP. So go ahead and mark that
Yes.
XP. That gets you not only an XP towards advancement, but it gets you that much closer to the limit break, and your
That's true.
power is pretty awesome. So that could be fun, but boy, it takes a lot of experience points. Like on a 2-shot, I probably just should have started you guys with like 4 or 5, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, so you fail. I think what happens is that you move forward, Valkyrie, to face off with these ninja, and this Zulnir is faster than you could have anticipated.
Oh, yeah, taking advantage of my of me.
Zulnir reaches down and snatches you up and throws you down the hole.
Oof.
The good news is you can fly. Maybe he's
Yeah.
aware of that. Bad news is he's throwing you real fast, and so
Yeah.
you're going to take 2 harm. You have 1 armor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you only have to mark 1 harm as you are bouncing down, hitting the drill at one point, the sides of the wall as you're careening forward. He's made you into a living fastball special.
The very non-slapstick version of the bang bang bang,
That's
kind
right.
of thing.
That's right.
Like Iron Man being thrown by Captain America down a pit.
There we go. Little
Yeah.
MCU action is always fun to bring in.
right.
Cool. So let's skip over to Abbott. Tima is finishing off those ninjas. They stand right beside you in their I guess like paladin look from an old RPG. And Abbott, you're standing there, and Ike, the demon god, Zulnir the Unstoppable, is a humanoid-shaped dark miasma with burning eyes. And you just saw him grab Valkyrie, your friend, and throw her down into this dank pit. And now he stands before you. He towers over you. And yeah, what is it that you do, Abbott?
I think, yeah, Abbott is like, it's okay. It's like talking to himself, but it's sort of like coming out. It's like, it's okay. It's all good. I got this. And just once again, I think as and turning to Tima is like, anything you can do to help with this would be much appreciated, and just dives in at like, how much bigger is Zulnir than I'm trying to picture, like just.
Oh
how
yeah,
much,
no, that's cool. I imagine the Zulnir's like 25 feet tall.
Yeah. So yeah, dwarfed by Zulnir, kind of diving and taking advantage of that brief moment of distraction. I think, right, because he's like turning back around from throwing Valkyrie, and just jumping in, and I think specifically trying to disable like one of Zulnir's limbs or take one of the limbs off. Like, I think aiming it for that kind of thing with the claymore. Yeah.
Nice. So let's see. Do we have any mech specific moves here? Definitely gonna, if your mech is damaged, we got to keep that in mind. By the way, I did mark one of the heart boxes for Ike. That's down at the bottom. When I was making the character keepers, I wasn't sure where else to put it, so it's down at the very, very bottom. I apologize for that.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, good. Okay, cool.
Let's see. You have actions, please. No, that's not repair. You'll definitely need to think about that. Now, I think it's just go all out, right? It's just our putting yourself in harm's way and fighting with everything you've got. So go ahead and roll plus hot, which for you is a 1. And you're asking for help. So does Tima help you in this attack, or are they waiting to do their own thing?
I can help. Yeah,
All right.
they would help.
Cool. Good call. Luckily, you are big and do big damage because this is a big bad guy who also needs big damage to hurt a lot. So good for you.
So what do I get? I get the bond bonus, so I get like a
Plus 2.
Okay,
so rolling a total of plus 3.
All right.
And now I hadn't mentioned this before, but you effectively like spend those bonds. So if you're using that bond, Tima, your 2 with Abbott would go down to a 1. And then someone else who used a bond earlier, and that would go down by 1 as well. I can't remember where I was talking.
I got a 15.
What? That's amazing. that is amazing. Okay, cool. So wow. Awesome. 10 plus. You pick 2, but with a 15, I'm gonna give you all 3, right? You harm them, they don't harm you, and you help a friend, which means you can pass a +1 forward to a teammate of your choice. Because that is just an amazing moment of the two of you working together. Now, what does Tima's help look like as Abbott strikes at this demon god?
I feel like they would also help striking them in a way.
Okay.
I guess.
Nice. So maybe Abbott's like slicing across, on a top, and Tima, you dance in and slice at its knee or its ankle because it's like 25 feet tall. So probably the Achilles tendon, something along those lines. But both of you strike together just at different points, and it's amazing. So you do. What's the harm on the weapon? Because I know you do big damage. Is it big 1 effectively? Is that how your weapon works? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's 1 big. 1 big.
Okay, so it's like doing 4. Okay, 1 big. And when you slice across, so it's like I guess overhand. Is that Abbott's fighting style? Very, very. I love that. That's awesome. So yeah, it slices across. He holds up one of his arms and it bites deep, and we see a bunch of gratuitous. There's even some like highly pressurized blood because anime. And then he's very, very upset as you have wounded him, and he looks down at all of his ninja. What are you doing? Destroy them! And he will try to push at you, Abbott, and he's staggering away because that obviously surprised him that who was hurt. And now he's sent his elite ninjas after you. Hold on a second. Ooh, okay. Cool. So let's cut to Valkyrie. And I just want to use this move because I think it's neat. I think that after being kind of sucker punched and thrown down into this hellish well, I would like to see Valkyrie stay strong. You've got to keep up your courage and determination in the face of fear, temptation, or coercion. So go ahead and roll plus spirit. And what is it that Emily Reinhardt, what is it that Valkyrie holds on to as you are falling into this deep pit.
She tries to hold on to not letting her friends down.
Ooh, love it. That's awesome.
And I think it would make sense for that +1 to friend to go to staying strong, because I feel like this would be a very encouraging thing to see in the midst of this.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's true.
So yeah, Abbott successful hit against the demon god. He was able to pass off a +1. So he's giving that to you, Valkyrie, as you roll. You have a spirit of 1, so you're rolling 2d6 plus 2.
All right. Let's see. Rolling 2d6 plus 2. Let's go. 14. Holy
Boxcars. You roll boxcars. The maximum good result. I don't know. That is super good. Maybe it's a thing where you stay so strong that we see you like flying up, like rising out of the pit kind of deal. What does that look like? Do we see like lightning bolts? Is there some kind of like halo? Is there just a wind? What's the cool sequence of Valkyrie rising up from the pit?
I think for primo anime goodness, what we have to do is that as Valkyrie falls down and bounces, and she starts making her final descent, she closes her eyes and she remembers her friends, and that's when like time kind of slows down, and the light around her sort of fades, and then that's when we cut to Zulnir just like thrashing about, wailing, and he sees the light like beam out from behind him, and that's when the silhouette of Valkyrie like launches up into the sky, such that you can see her cast, her shadow and form cast against the moonlight, sort of like that Batman logo style kind of situation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's when she draws out her broadsword and points directly at Zulnir, and sort of like a bring it face.
Cool. Now, there was something that you saw, Valkyrie. We'll flash back to that thing that you saw at the base of the pit later. But just remember that there was a thing that you saw, a thing that kind of triggered you needing to stay strong. But you came here for your friends, and now you're like this tiny, awesome Valkyrie and this giant demon god trying to run away from Abbott. And maybe he thinks he's going to step on you. I'm not sure, but you're going to face him down, right?
I want to say though, before I pass on my turn or my moment, which is, as long as my friends stand, I shall never fall.
Oh, nice. Are you proclaiming your feelings again? Because that's just delightful.
Why not? If you want to make me roll for it, go ahead.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
It always works out great for me when you roll.
That is what is it again? Is it cool or
that is a for crane.
Hot.
It's hot. Yes, sorry.
All right. Yeah. Let's see.
There's a +2 for you.
Yeah. 10.
Wow, all good all the time now. You went down to that dark hole, and now you've come back a changed person. You get +1 ongoing while acting on those feelings.
Yep. Eat it, Zulnir.
Sweet. Now, Abbott, Tima, you guys teamed up. You harmed the demon god. He has decided to beat feet and has sent his elite ninjas after you. And so I think what we see is that the elite ninja, the ones who are casting the magic, to summon the demon god, they're swarming onto you, Abbott, like climbing on, trying to dig in with their little sai, trying to pry open things, while Mrs. Watambe is facing off with you, Tima, with her weird ruby sword and her odd-looking giant eye demon armor deal. By the way, if you're wondering, like, what is Rich even? If you've ever seen Soul Calibur, and there's a guy named Nightmare who has a sword with an eye on it, that's totally what I stole it from. So there's the imagery, is like weird warp modeled flesh and eye that looks bizarre on her armor. So Tima, what do you want to do as Ms. Watambe is facing off with you? By the way, Tima, what do you think about the teacher? Because if I remember when we were talking about it, like Tima sits in the front row.
Yeah.
Occasionally, Tima might like play a little bit of the teacher's pet. And here now, Ms. Watambe, not even knowing who you are because of your avatar, looks like she's trying to kill you. What do you do?
Well, I definitely don't want to reveal myself. So I think I'll kind of like avoid the fact that I'm one of her students,
Okay.
but like I'll still face her because like she's a bad guy. I don't like bad guys.
Totally. All right. So then I think you need to go all out to try to harm her. She's already taken some harm from Abbott's giant laser claymore, but she's still up. So let's see how you do. Go ahead and roll plus hot.
I got a 10, I think.
Yep, you rolled an 8 and you have a +2 on hot, so that is a 10. You get to choose 2 from that list. You harm them, they don't harm you. You help a friend, passing a +1 forward to a teammate of your choice. What do you want?
I think I'll harm them.
All right, you get a second choice.
Oh, and I'll help a friend.
Cool. Now, just so you're clear, that means you're going to take harm.
I don't want that. So actually.
All right, cool. So you block her ruby sword attack and harm her. Now, let's take a look. You're using a sword. Do we know how much damage your sword does?
Not. No, I don't think
Okay.
we do.
So I think we'll need to take a quick glance at the book to see what a sword does in other contexts, so we know how much damage you're doing to her. Because before you were doing damage to like minions, so the damage was, but now you actually, because you're up against a lieutenant, you need to know. So examples in the harm and healing section says that a sword does 2 harm normally. I don't see where you have anything that would boost that. So I think you're doing 2 harm. Does that sound okay? Sound fair?
Yep, sounds good.
Awesome. So do you imagine that you like stabbed her or slashed, or what was the thing that Tima did to harm her?
Probably slash, like right across the chest area.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you slice off of her tie, right? Because she was in that suit, remember? You slice off the bottom of her tie, it falls down, and the tie kind of flutters in the wind like a flag or something. And we see that, like, you've opened up the shirt, and we see there's a line of blood, and she looks angrily at you and strikes back, but you block it with your shield. She hasn't fallen yet, but it's obvious you're a better fighter than she is. Sorry, got a weird tickle in my throat, so I keep muting while I cough. Let's cut up to Abbott. We have all these ninja that are clawing at you, trying to pull. Do you see some of them are like prying into that ruby sword wound that was created into you? What do you want to do, Abbott?
How am I going to get them off? I think Abbott, well, he's going to figure that he's a lot more durable than they are. So I think so he's like, there's the hole, which he doesn't want to go into because he can't fly. But like, is he up on some of the ledges where he could sort of jump and kind of crash land down to try to shake the ninjas off?
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Going into the hole itself.
Ooh,
like,
yeah. You could even like maybe try to grab the drill, as you're going by. Yeah.
Exactly.
That sounds awesome.
Grab the drill, like swing. Yeah. Just get them all off. Yeah.
I love it. So We do have this like very broad purpose go all out that I think seems appropriate here, but I do love the fiction of what you're trying to accomplish. So good luck. You're rolling 2d6 plus 1 from your hot.
9.
Okay, you get to choose one. You can shake them off. A number of them will fall down into the chasm, but then some will hurt you, or you can just be safe, and a few of them will fall off, but most of them are still attacking you.
I'm definitely going to shake them off and take some harm. Yeah.
All right, awesome. So I think what we see is that one of the two of the ninjas are like prying open the little thing. You like grab the drill. A few ninjas silently fall down. Their silent scream forever and ever. And you see these like claws, those like climbing claws. They're using that and they pry it open. And one of them like sticks his face through, pulls down his little ninja mask, and then out of his mouth comes out this like little blow dart thing. And he fires and boom, it hits you right in the neck with this little poisony dart. Go ahead and mark a harm.
Marking the harm. Yeah, that is going to really terrify Abbott, because again, like he's not a guy who gets into fights and stuff. Like physical harm, actual like poison dart. He's like,
nice. Cool. And here's the other thing, Abbott. This ninja, when he pulled his mask down, you recognized him. It's Randall.
oh,
And after he pops out of his mouth that little tiny blow dart and fires the little thing, he just laughs, and then he springs back and dances away.
well, Abbott's definitely going to go after Randall. Just FYI.
I get it. We swing back to Valkyrie, making this brave stand against Zulnir, the demon god, the unstoppable, as he calls himself. He's going to do big damage to you if you don't do something about it. You are talking on mute, Matthew.
Yeek. Yeah. So I guess I would not want him to do any of that. Is there
Come on, just a little big damage? Come on, just like it won't kill you that bad.
Hell no.
Sorry.
Hell no. I say with much confidence in mid cough. Yeah. I think now is the time to parlay that to cash in on those feelings and go for Zulnir.
Nice.
Mm-mm.
All right. So let me check in. Do you have any, like, what are the supernatural powers that you have?
Oh well. The supernatural powers. It comes with the armor and it comes with the transformation sequence. I do have Your Opponent Is Me as one of the playbook abilities. Let's see. Not sure if that's actually part of. I mean, it doesn't really matter with the distinction, but let's see.
Oh,
Yeah, Your Opponent Is Me is part of my student's moves,
right.
but I have the Magical Tears ability and a distinctive armor. So
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. So you've got your martial arts. That's how you're doing your damage with your sword and your awesome martial ability. Your armor has saved your bacon a couple times already, and Your Opponent Is Me. If he seems like he's going after somebody else, you could use that to draw aggro. Woohoo! Yeah. Using a video game term. Look at me, I'm so smart. I mostly did that for you, Matthew, because I know you like video games. I heard that.
Yeah, just if Zulmir is busy, then I will engage Your Opponent Is Me. If not, I will continue to roll with go in hot.
Yeah, I think we're going to go all out because he wants to get out of here, and you're in his way, saying you shall not pass or something like that.
Yeah, let's do it. That is a 2d6 plus 2 for the attack, or for going
all out. Yep.
Going all out. All right, let's go. That is an 8.
All right. You can choose to harm him, or you can choose to not be harmed by him.
Let's see, for an 8. Oh, how I wish I could pick 2. You know what? I'll harm them, but I guess they'll get to harm me.
Nice.
Yeah,
So you're doing 3 harm, and because he's big, that actually does almost just like 2/3 of a box of harm to him, which is good. It's not like he has an unlimited amount, but definitely worthwhile. So you slice across with your sword, right? Is that the attack that you think Valkyrie uses?
Yeah, I see. I think Tima said they're using a longsword of some kind,
Mm-hmm.
and I imagine that what's sorry, my brain is like Huffa is using sort of like, I guess, one of those
A
like
laser claymore, I believe.
yeah, and I'm going with like I guess a cloud strife style sword. So I
Oh,
want everybody,
so like super big, crazy.
Yeah. So I want everybody to have 3 different swords just for distinction.
Totally.
Yeah.
I can tell you apart by your sword choices.
Yep. Yeah. All right. And 3 harm melee. Yep.
Okay, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you slice across as he's reaching for you, and you lop off 2 of his fingers. These 2 fingers, they like fall down, and they're the size of like, I don't know, imagine they're like the size of Jabba the Hutt, right? Like these fingers are humongous. He's like 25 feet tall, so they fall down, they warble a little bit, and they're gushing out anime blood. But he reacts with pain, and then he's going to punch you real hard, which would be 1 big damage coming your way, which is like 4 damage to you, regular sized person. You got 1 armor, but then you're going to take a massive, right? You're taking 3 boxes of damage.
Oh man, why did I choose that? Let's see. We're taking this, and we're taking this, and we're taking
Bleeding.
this.
One of the last 3. That's when things start to get scary. So,
oh yeah.
I think think of like Valkyrie kind of skip like it's one of those where you roll for a little bit and then slam into the trailer. Remember the trailer where the boss and Watambe came out? Like you slam into the trailer, and you see it kind of dent in a little bit because your armor protects you from taking damage from the trailer. But like it's just it looks cool. So like in
the arm. I took the hit, but the armor only saved my pride.
Exactly.
And she winces. She she tries to get up and does the classic anime of "No, you're not getting up." Wince and like get down on 1 knee.
Ooh.
And then sort of like squints and like gazes at Zoom there and says, "So I see you wish to prolong your suffering."
Oh, little one, I will prolong all of your suffering. But then, after his big talk, he turns and tries to dash the other way. Bloom, 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 as he's trying to run away. Tima, you are still facing Ms. Watanbe. She looks like she's pretty hurt. You are doing okay. But if you turn your back on her, she's going to try to stab you in the back. You know that Abbott is struggling fighting a bunch of those ninjas who are trying to pry open his armor. And you just saw Valkyrie get knocked for a loop. So what is it that you want to do, Tima?
I'm thinking. Sorry.
That's okay. No, I just want to make sure you heard me. That was my only because I know we've had some
Mm-hmm.
audio problems. Yeah, take your time if you need a moment.
Not in bed yet?
Sorry, my parents are talking to me. I want to help them, but I also do kind of want to harm our teachers some more. But I think helping my friends would be the best bet, even though that means I would be hurt.
That's heroic. I love it. So you are going to try to help out Abbott, I assume, or you want to try to help out Valkyrie. Valkyrie's not being attacked right this moment. So Abbott might be the right person to try to help if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'll help Abbott.
Cool. So Abbott, let's say that you are spending a bond. Is that okay to give
Yep.
Abbott +2?
Designing to look
Cool.
exactly like the old toys.
All right.
except
So Abbott,
added a ton of different
what do you want to do? Tima has come up. They are knocking off some of the ninjas, trying to help you free yourself.
No,
You, I think, we're going after the ninja that you recognized.
it says Green Acres.
Malcolm?
has the
Randall, sorry, I misspoke.
Transformers.
Yeah. Well, so I'm on the I climbed up and swung on the drill to get everyone off,
Right.
and then and Randall got me and then jumped, and I think well, the situation has now kind of changed, so I'm wondering so what is Zolnir doing? Zolnir is
trying to run away. He is leaving his minions to fight this fight. He evidently has something he's more interested in. I don't know, maybe a Starbucks. Who knows?
As much as I want to have a conversation with Randall,
Mhm.
and maybe that conversation will have to come at it. I have this picture in my mind. He's going to climb up on this drill to get like a kind of elevated standpoint and try to jump onto Zolnir's back, like Skyrim dragon style.
Nice.
And
Bazoda!
yeah. Exactly. And he's not gonna because he's got priorities. He's gonna have a conversation with Randall, but Zolnir needs to be stopped, clearly.
Okay, well, I think you need to act quickly in a tough situation here. So you get to roll plus cool, which you're good at. And you've got a +2 from your good friend, Tima Scottswell.
Sorry.
10.
A 10?
Fifteen.
Oh, fantastic. So you jump onto Zolnir's back, and you're big enough and heavy enough to where he kind of drops to a knee, and it halts his progress. And he's like reaching up, trying to pry your arm from his neck. And Tima, you are helping out. So what is it that we see you do as Abbott is trying to slow Zolnir's progress in getting out of here?
I kind of want to like create a distraction somehow.
Ooh, okay. Is this kind of a distraction like your production crew does something, or is it some kind of digital champion stuff that you do? What do you think?
I don't know. Probably my roadies do something. I'd guess.
I'm sorry, say again?
My crew.
Mhm.
The roadies do
Nice.
something.
Yeah, so they've set up the speaker set or something, and they blast some music. What's the song they blast that distracts Zolnir from trying to escape?
I don't know. I some just like random pop song.
Okay, cool, awesome. We'll say that it's "Lovesick Girls" by Blackpink blasts through some gigantic oversized speakers, and Zolnir is really confused about this. He does not know what to do, and he's decided to try to get away. We see Ms. Watambe, of course, as I've warned you. She takes that ruby sword and stabs your avatar in the back. By the way, one of the things I realized looking at your avatar is you actually have a 3 harm melee weapon. So you have nearly taken Watambe out, but you didn't want to. So she's not dead, but she strikes you in the back because she's using her deadly backstab attack. You have to work 2 harm boxes. So you are now bleeding and battered. It has been a very harmful fight, and Watambe, she is going to toss down a smoke bomb and disappear. So, Tima, Abbott, and the two of you are facing off with Zolnir. Valkyrie, what do you do? Oh, Valkyrie, as you are pushing yourself up after being thrown into the trailer, you hear the sound of a van coming closer. And when you look around, you see that it's none other than your dad, Ace reporter in the local news van, coming to investigate this huge drawn out fight at Baldur Mining Corporation.
Love the fact that the reporters can show up before the police or sheriff.
The police are like, just let them, like when they're all done, then we'll go in and we'll stop whatever else. It's fine.
Yeah. What's he up to? Like, is he coming out? Like, what's
He's
the
like,
situation?
right now he's you see him like driving down the trail to try to get down to the mining corporation. So
okay. Wouldn't they imperil themselves if they come over here to this
why,
thing?
yes, they would. Your dad could get seriously hurt here. There's still a few ninjas. Who even knows where your evil teacher is? And then, demon god.
So Valkyrie's register sort of drops. Not drops. It goes up, to a more Emily-like register, and turns to Tima and Abbott and like, guys, it's my dad. Let's just, we can't. I can't let him, endanger himself here. And before they have a moment to respond, Valkyrie sort of like turns around and tries to fly towards her dad and
awesome. Do you want to rescue him from
try,
some of the...
sort of stop them from going in?
Awesome. You want to try to rescue him?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you want to... There's a come to the rescue. You want to try to jump in the way and protect him from...
is he in danger too? Okay.
Ninja's going after him.
Yes, absolutely. Come to the rescue.
Awesome. So go ahead and roll plus cool.
All right. Let's go plus cool. That is I always forget my cool. It's a 0.
You forget it because you want it to be higher. That's why.
Yeah,
you're a plus 2, you wouldn't forget that. Oh my! Oh, that appears to be a 5.
Yeah.
So here's the good news. You get XP. Here's the better news. You save your dad. You dash forward. You knock down those 2 ninjas who were trying to stop his progress. And then the headlights are shining on you. And then you look and you see your dad. And he looks at you. And he says, Emily?
Absolutely. I think it makes no matter what I have said as a player about Emily's like.
Oh, it's been moved out of the way. One of the ninjas.
Yeah.
Your faceplate is not where you thought. You just knew it was there, but it wasn't.
Yeah. In the haste to do it, that's what happened. Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Sweet. So yeah, we have that shocked moment as you realize your dad knows that you evidently run around in armor with a big, cool looking, awesome cloud sword. We cut to Abbott and Tima as the two of you are facing off against Zulnir the Unstoppable, and he's proclaiming that he says, I will open the door to the hell dimension and my armies will spew forth and destroy this world. It's a thing. And of course, we still hear Lovesick Girls is playing. So Abbott, you and Tima, you're all that's it. The ninja went after the news van. Ms. Watambe has decided that she's got some papers to grade or something and just beat feet. She dropped that smoke bomb. She's out of here. So it is just the two of you and this demon god who's a little wounded, but like, also still a demon god. What do you want to do, Abbott?
I mean, I think Abbott's got Zulnir, kind of behind, in this grip, hang on to him. And I think yells out to Tima, like, Tima, you gotta take him out. And it's just kind of like holding Zulnir back, trying to kind of grapple him, put him in a position where he can't do anything. And he's just calling to Tima to like come in and take Zulnir out.
Nice. So you're setting Tima up to hopefully take the final blow. So then you're spending that bond to give them a +2. Tima, do you want to go all out, or is there something else you'd rather do?
I'd go all out. Yeah. See how well that goes.
Okay, so you're rolling plus hot, and you get +2 more. So you're rolling +4. Good luck.
So 14.
Holy moly, that's awesome. So remember, from Go All Out, you get 3 choices. You can take no harm. You harm them, they don't harm you. You help a friend, you get 2 of those. You can either pass +1 forward, take no harm, or harm them. What 2 options do you want?
I would help a friend and then give harm.
Okay. Just so we're clear.
Oh wait, I'm dying.
Harm.
Yeah.
He does big harm, so you may not want to take harm. You may want to just steal the glory. Abbott set you up. You may just want to do harm and not take harm. But if you want to take that harm, I will give you that harm, because then we'll end this.
I do not want to take harm.
Okay. Look, imagine
you saw what happened when I took harm.
It weren't pretty. Sweet. So you destroy this body of Zulnir, the demon god. What does that look like? What is Tima's final blow as Abbott's holding on and keeping him from trying to escape?
I'm not sure.
Cool. Okay. That's okay. Do you think maybe she slices his head off, or is it some more along like just a huge stab and it goes all the way through and maybe like pierces a little bit into Ike, or what do you think? What do you like?
I kind of want to just like stab them in the head like this.
Nice. Totally have that Ninja Scroll moment of like that slice in the middle of the head, and it's like a fan of blood that sprays up in the very gory anime way, and then he drops to a knee and he breathes out his last and falls to the ground, and you see that his flesh and everything starts to sizzle and dissolve. And yeah, the 2 of you have defeated this demon god. Cut back to Valkyrie, and your dad, star reporter, who you just saved from ninjas, but at the cost of the revelation of your secret identity as a transformation warrior. What do you do when he calls out your name?
Emily sort of like turns around and embarrassed, and doesn't know what to do. And so I think she's sort of like petrified, but she's got her back turned towards her dad. and just sort of like, I guess, in just one moment, waiting for what if there's anything else her dad has to say.
Okay. He'd stop the car, of course, and you hear the door open, and he comes running out, and you like feel the motion, but of course you're wearing armor, so it's not like you feel his hand. But he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "Emily, what is this? What are you doing?"
You wouldn't understand, Dad. I have I have I found a new calling, and that's why I've been so distant lately. I'm not your little girl anymore, and I don't think I'll ever be able to be anything that any of us wanted. All I have is this.
I don't I don't understand what's happened to you, but that doesn't mean you can't still be my daughter.
S- Soon there are dark forces at work in this town, and it is, and I have taken it upon myself to to fight them, and sooner or later, this, and she puts her hand on the rock, and sooner or later, that burden will consume me, will consume my soul, and you can try to be my father, and I can try to be your daughter, but eventually, you know, there will be no more room for that. There'll be no room in my life for any of that. So sooner or later, you're going to have to accept this, so that you can spare yourself the pain of having to say goodbye when you're least prepared.
Wow. That is huge. Um I think he's struck by this and the weight
And
of what you're saying. Yeah, I'm sorry.
now go on. I like listening to the reaction that you were just describing.
He's struck by the weight of what you're saying. It's flashing through his mind the idea of losing his daughter so soon. And I think he blinks for a moment, and you see that his eyes are wet, and he says, I will never pretend to be your father, Emily. No matter what's happened to you, I'm here.
Emily embraces her father, with tears in her eyes, and then, but it's a short hug. She releases him, get picks up the sword from the ground, straps it back, and then walks away. Like, you know how the lights of the car are the one that create like
Yeah.
the visible space in this manga panel.
Yes. Perfect.
And from there, Valkyrie like walks into the darkness and sort of like disappears from. Let's name the dad Scott Reinhardt. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and disappears from Scott's view.
All right. So do we think that's cut? See, so I'm trying to be respectful of time, especially since one of us has parents who are asking if you're still playing. So I don't want to overstay welcomes there. I think it'd be cool if we have just like a couple of pocket scenes, and then we'll move to epilogues, if that sounds okay for everybody. I mean, you defeated the big bad, so I'd love to see just a couple of scenes. Remember, this is a 2-shot, so anything that you're like, I really wanted to get to X or Y, or I'd love to have a scene with blah. Let's hit that. So Huff, I'd like to ask you to kind of step up first. Step into the batter's box. What kind of scene would you like to have before we go into epilogues? So is there a particular scene that you've got in mind you're interested in?
I think, yeah, to kind of I think to kind of take Abbott's whole arc to its conclusion, it would be Ike and Abbott together again, like walking like after this happened, like like, and I think there so Abbott in the moment was terrified, but now in retrospect, I mean, it's like so exhilarating. And I think like maybe this scene starts off and they're walking together and they're just like it was so cool when he just jumped up and you did the claymore. It was amazing.
Then you grabbed him by the neck and he was like whining. It was great.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think like Abbott, like Abbott's not in Ike, so Abbott's like miming the gestures, and then like Ike is kind of like doing that too, like as they're like walking through. Yeah. And they're just like super psyched, but Ike is like damaged, and Abbott is also, I think, he took a fair amount of harm, and he had that like poison dart. So I think, yeah, maybe he like sprained his arm. I think his arm might be in a cast.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. And so he's like miming the sword gesture, but his arm's in a cast, and like Ike's like obviously like has some kind of exposed things that need to be like soldered and etc. Yeah.
It's just a little, the expanding stuffy stuff or whatever. Great stuff. Yeah, that's it. That's all I need. I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. And then Abbott's like, all right, Ike, I gotta see you later. It's time for our Sunday Risk game.
Oh yeah. Have fun. Don't forget, better red than dead. Hey, just so you know, I knew we were meant to be together, Abbott.
I know you did, Ike. I did too.
Nice. Then you head off to the weekly Risk game. So, Tima, what about you? Do you have any scenes that you'd be interested in before we start to do epilogues?
Not that I can think of. Maybe something with like, I guess Kelly, was that her name?
Oh, Kimmy?
Kimmy, yeah. Maybe like back at school.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, so it's like after destroying Zolnir, you got access to all of your stuff. All the hacking that he was doing to try to shut you down has been stopped, and you come into school the next day, and Kimmy runs up and she like shows you her profile. She's, look how many followers I got. This is amazing, Tima. Oh my goodness. Like, I mean, I had 8 and now I have 850. So most of those are yours, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh man. Are you okay? You look a little, is that, did you get hurt or something?
Just a little roughed up, but don't mind it. I'll be fine.
Cool. Okay. Well, if you need somebody to walk you to the nurse's office, I can do that. I know where it is because I get nosebleeds a lot. Like a lot.
All right. I'll remember that.
Cool. And then maybe you like walk past your production crew and they're all, looking at you, and maybe one of them's got like playing on their phone some Blackpink music. They're all excited, like they helped out and fighting some crazy demon god. Cool. Is that good? Is that what you wanted out of that scene?
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Awesome. What about for Emily / Valkyrie?
All right, so what I've got in mind is sort of very cinematic, which is we see the kitchen table and Emily, and it's like sort of like a time lapse of Emily and her family having breakfasts and dinners together. And as the time lapse moves forward, you see Emily grow from age 15 to 17, and the family just sort of like becoming more like, you can see in the time lapse that Scott is still trying to like reach out to his daughter, but she is becoming more and more withdrawn and reserved, and the room like changes from a very like hazy, like life is strange, like orange to orange like golden hour light, and like getting a little bit grayer and grayer and darker. And
Ooh.
as that time lapse like happens, we intercut to the hole in the ground in Baldur's mining, and every night Emily and Valkyrie goes there, sort of like Diablo 1 style, which is, she keeps coming back to that hole to fight the monsters to, keep
Nice.
things from coming out from there. And I'm just sort of leaving it like that so it's open ended in case, in the unlikely probability we ever revisit the setting. Because who knows what other plot definitions could come out of that, right?
Hope
Anyway.
springs eternal.
Yeah. Yeah, and Emily's clothes go, clothes go from like more regular sunny high school to, the sort of like dark hoodie thing, and that's it. She continues to, lose herself into the responsibilities of being Valkyrie.
Awesome.
And yeah,
I mean, I think that is a great flip into any epilogues, right? Like that's kind of Emily's epilogue, is losing herself in this other identity and her responsibilities. Is there any epilogue that you see for Tima?
I imagine she would she ended up being friends with Kimmy, like actual friends, not like fake friends or like idol peasant relationship. Like,
Nice.
just like true friends who were in the friend group, and Kimmy's really nice. I imagine that she just overall has a good life. Like, people see her nowadays, they won't necessarily know she's an idol unless they like know the Scottswell name.
Cool.
And she just lives in normal society as almost a normal person.
That's awesome. Cool. Tima's got it all figured out. I love it. Work-life balance. What about for Abbott? Any epilogue that you want to throw in there for him?
I think with Abbott that he still remains a bit of an outsider, but I have a feeling, I'm trying to think, this didn't come up so much in the game, but like Abbott and Emily live next door, and Emily really wanted to be friends with him, and Emily's going to go through this whole sort of darker path, and I feel like maybe there's a moment when Abbott and Ike are like out, and they go back to the mine, and they see Emily doing what she's doing at the mine, and like they reconnect, like in wanting to do this battle together. And I feel like maybe it gives some kind of hope to that team going forward. Like it's still a dark place for Emily, but I feel like Abbott wants to actually help her out in that and be a part of that.
Oh yeah. I'd super tune in for that.
And it kind of flips it, right? Because like this loner that Emily really wanted to be friends with, and now you kind of flip it back where like she's kind of gone this very dark place, and Abbott's like, hey, let's do this together,
It was written in the stars.
Yeah.
That rocks. Awesome. So that will bring our everybody mark 1 XP. Unfortunately, we didn't get to the point where anybody got any limit breaks. I'm disappointed about that. That's definitely a thing where I'm like, if I had this do over again, I probably would put people right near limit breaks just to see what that looks like, because that's an exciting part of the game that takes a while to get to. So, which is fine, right? Like it emulates the idea of limit break and the old Final Fantasy type stuff. So
I was cursed with too many good rolls.
You guys rolled like gangbusters most of the time.
It was wild. Yeah.
It was great. Sweet. So if you guys have a minute or two, if you need to go. Otherwise, I'd love to hear a few stars. Wishes we did what we did, but any stars that you'd like to hand out to your fellow players for good moments that you liked?
I mean, the speech Emily's speech. That was clearly clearly
was-
great.
That was good.
killer.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll give some stars to first of all, I'll give some stars to everyone for the characters. I think I'm a real big fan of all the characters. I mean, I feel like I'm becoming a broken record already at this point on the umpteenth month here on Gauntlet. But like, I don't know. Like, I think we can all be in agreement here that all of us here like are really invested in characters, in Tima, in Abbott, and in Emily, and it's just such a crying shame that we're not really going to be pursuing them anytime soon. But oh my God, Rich, you just put out the summons, you put out the call, and I shall answer for these
totally-
characters.
I'm totally there. I will also answer that. Yeah.
Yeah, I will answer for Tima. I will answer for Abbott. I will,
It's tough.
Here, I'll give you the button, the big red button from Firefly from Serenity. You push that button, Mal, and we'll be there.
Sounds good. I love it.
Yeah, but
Awesome.
just quickly, I want to emphasize. I also totally agree with that. I love all the characters. I thought everyone was great, and I felt truly anime. So also,
Yeah.
I think special shout out to Rich also for being able to play Ike.
Yay.
I think I have two ideas now. I feel like there should be a game that lets you play the robot and the boy. Or yeah, that was a blast.
That was really fun. I'm glad. I was sitting on. I was itching to have Ike say something in the first session, but we didn't get to it. So I was very excited. And actually, early in the game, voice mod wouldn't load. Voice mod's the program that used to be the thing, and it wouldn't load. And I'm like, no, please.
oh, that's what you're. Oh, that would be cool.
That's what I was freaking out about. I'm like, what? I'm gonna re-download it. I re-downloaded the whole program, reinstalled it, and finally it was working. I'm like,
And another shout out also to Tima for landing that very special blow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Took out the main guy. Yeah.
Well, Serenity, I hope that
Mhm.
you got a chance to see combat in action enough to where it made a little bit
Yeah.
more sense. I'm really glad that I got a chance to play with you.
Yeah, it runs really smoothly. Like when I was reading through it, I was just like, how does this all work? Because I couldn't really understand it, but from this, it runs so smoothly and I like it.
Yeah, I really like Super Destiny High School Rumble. I was worried. I'm like, oh, do I have enough anime knowledge to do an okay job with this? And luckily, you guys kind of picked up the slack anytime I felt lost, especially Matthew. Stars to Matthew. Wow. I love that you're even like, I'm going to frame this like a manga. Like, here's the lighting. I was like, wow, that's level. That's good stuff. But
We're junk culture junkies here in this household. You know that. You played with Jamie.
I have indeed. I love it. Well, I really enjoyed. Thanks to all three of you for giving this a shot. I really enjoyed having a chance to run the game for you. And we'll bring this to a close. So thank you all.